Who is ready? Students, try to Parvina, please. 119.
Circle A has radius of 3n and circle B has radius of 129n, where n is a positive constant. The area of circle B is how many times the area of circle A?
Okay, thank you. So one circle is radius 3n. So you have two circles. One is radius equals to 3n. And the second one, the circle A. And the circle B has radius 129n, bigger. Kind of like this. 129n. And this is B. And they ask you the area of circle B, area B, they ask you to area of A, right? If I ask you this question. You can do it in one line. Let me write this property, very important. If two shapes are similar, then ratio of the areas equals to, I make it short, to the square of the linear ratio, let me put this way, of the linear ratio. So this is extremely important theorem for any shapes. Based on this, it's 129, one linear ratio to 3n to the second power. Cancel out. And since scientific calculator is allowed, you can easily get down. One step. So this test is time consuming. Try to find shortcuts. Who understands this 100%? 100%, 100. Square of linear ratios. Okay. I can send you small few minutes lecture where I discuss how this theorem works in real life. What is better, to order pizza, two pizzas for 40 inches diameter or one pizza 50-inch diameter? If you'd like, we send this, you will feel it better. Okay, this based on the theorem, because when you take this ratio of the areas, you take radius to the second power. This is number 19, number 20. Okay, any questions, students? Number 20. Let me erase everything. Number 20. Who will read number 20 very fast? What the question? Number 20. Mubina, please. 20. 120. Юля, проверь, пожалуйста. Unmuted. Mubina.
Yes.
120. You raise hand. Read out
Yes.
loud.
The frequency table summarizes the 57 data values in a data set. What is the maximum data value in the data set?
Thank you. Give me synonym in English. What is, how they said, maximum value? What is maximum value? Simple English.
Biggest number?
the largest value, right? This is 1 second problem. Look at this. What is data value? The largest, if you look at this table, the largest is 14. That's it. They ask you, everything is given. 1 sec. The largest, go to this column with value and choose the biggest value, which is 14. Any questions, students? And believe or not, by 7 students asked this question. It's not a difficult question. Okay, good, good, good. If you're too fast, ask me. Number 22.
I have a question.
Yes.
So it's just the biggest number of the data value is the answer?
Yes, it
The
is.
column?
Because great answer, great response. The biggest value in data, what you said, they ask you about this. They choose, how you name these activities in SAT. They check your data interpretation, how you understand tables. Because in future, many of you go in science, wherever you work. And you have to know how to operate with data. Just choose number. Mubina, if they ask you, what is, where is it? What the minimum data value? What you would answer this case?
6?
6. Great, brilliant. Next is 120. It was 120. Okay. Let me see what is next one. Next is after 20, we have 20, 22. This is not for problem. Read only for yourself. In 22, we have 22 angle R equals to pi over 3. Angle T equals 5p over 12 greater. It's equals to pi over 3. This actually my R. This set. And 5 pi over 12 greater. Greater this addition. And what the question? What the measure of T in degrees? Just add them up. Like you did in 4th grade. This is 4. This is 1. We have 8 pi plus 5 pi over 12. Or 13 pi over 12. Now, everybody knows that pi is 180 degrees. And 3 pi over 12 is x. One way, or plug in here pi 180 degrees, whatever you like. And you get the answer. Okay, that's a universal approach for any conversion from pi to from radians to degrees and vice versa. Who understand up to this point everything? Everything up to this point. Who has question? Dmitry, Daniel K, Alyssa G. When I ask you who, you must raise hand immediately, everybody. Otherwise, I have impression that you're not listening. Raise your hand who can hear me. Anastasia, yes, Theodore. Alexander M. Alexander M, can you hear me? Raise your hand. Okay, это в угол поставлю. Thank you. Good. Next, students, try to get maximum from this, okay? My point, you can do this twice less than they give you, twice and triple check. Because what the question is it? We start this in 8th grade when we converted to radians to nothing here. Okay, 23. 23. Who will read 23 very fast? Dmitra, please. 23.
A certain town has an area of 4.06 square miles. What is the area in square yards of this town? 1 mile equal 1,760 yards.
Thank you. So what we know, let me see this 23. General problem for many questions. And they said 1 mile, this is given. If you have a square, for instance. So 1 mile linear unit, they equals to what? 1,760 yards. Okay. And certain town has area, given area equals to 4.36 miles to the second power. And what the question? Which area in square yards? Well, if you have this, what do you suppose? How to have square miles? Easy, just put to the second power both parts. Okay. And wherever you get 1 mile to the second power. And you put this to the second power. And 4.36 miles to the second power. I don't know. And this would be, I multiply this. I got this 3097600 square yards. From this cross multiplication, this is x. You can easily find x. X times this equals this times this. Always go this way. Never memorize these square units or cubic units. Just simple. Put to the second power. Who understand this 100%? 100. Okay, good.
Dr. Farber, how did you get the big number again?
I put to the second power this. Use your scientific calculator. Okay, and when you put to the second power on calculator, you get this number. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, even mentally, 1,760, it's about 2,000. 2,000 to second power, it would be 4 and 6 zeros. And this 3 something and zeros. Okay, easy. Just use calculator. Calculator, by the way, allowed in this test. But don't overuse. Sometimes when you use too much, it slows down your work. This was number 23. Very fast. Go to next one. 24. What we have in 24? Okay, in 24, many students ask 24. Typical question also. Let me run 24. This is one, I believe, right? Module 1, yes. 124. You have a table x, y. I just make a sketch of this. 18, 23, 26, 130, 160, 178. Okay. And you have line, 3 value of x, value of y. Line k is a result of translating line h down 5 units. 5 units down. Down. And this is line h. Line h. I just schematically write for myself. What the x-intercept of line x? So the first one, you can easily build line, how they name it, line at the beginning. Line H, line K. This line K down. And this line H. How to build the line? I show 2 ways. Y equals to mx plus b. And m equals to y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. If you build the equation of this line, you can easily find y-intercept, x-intercept, whatever, and move 5 units down. One of the strategy. For this, you can take any values of y. If you look at this, for instance, this 160 minus 130 divided by 23 minus 18. It will be 30 over 5, right? Which is 6. And my line look like this. Y equals to 6x plus b. To be sure about this b, we can plug in any x and you get a value of b. For instance, I put, you can write like this, y or f of x. So f, let's say, of 18 equals 6 times 18 plus b. And this must be equals to 130. So far so good. 60 plus 48, 108. Minus 108 and minus 108. Yeah, I instantly get b, which is 22, I believe, right? And I have equation of this line. Equation of this line right here. Y equals to 6x plus 22. We got equation of this line. The next step, you can imagine schematically that we have one line. You can build, for instance, this line K, and you move 5 units down, and you get line H. And this we have the asking for this intercept. Okay, how to get this line H? How to get line K? 6x plus. What we do to save time? Minus 5 units. It would be plus 17. And when it's equals to 0, because they ask you what to find. Now let's see. What the x-intercept? When it's equal to 0, minus 17 minus 17, 6x equals to negative 17 divided by 6. You get this answer. Okay. Any questions? Classical example. Classical. I have a question for you. Who understand up to this point? Who understand? Mubina, Anastasia S, Daniel came. So just participate actively. Who can solve this problem without any equations, without any equation of light, without analytical geometry? Want to see another approach? I just give idea in future. Also very powerful to save time. For instance, look at this, what I have. I can easily make a drawing. Let me make this space, I will not erase it. I make a drawing with these numbers. So I put, what is it, 24, I put two, for instance, let me see. I give idea. Let me write this one. Second way. So based on this table, Use Cartesian coordinates. And let's say with this is 18, this 130, schematically. Take another, for instance, 26, this 178. I connect this nice. Pretend. I connect it. Okay. And if this 178, I take different color. Subtract 5. So it would be 1 minus 5. This is 5. 173. And respectively, they parallel. This would be 125 as well. This line is supposed to be parallel. Not nicely, but pretend they parallel. I make correction to this one. After that, just consider triangle. In this triangle, you know this is 173 leg. Okay, this leg is 125. This 26 minus 18 is 8. And this is value, I don't know what to use, x. And you can write proportion. When you build this one, only one proportion. These two triangles are similar. You see this big one and this small one. And 173, big vertical leg. Okay. To horizontal big, 8 plus x. Actual one line equals to 125 to correspond side x. Simple linear equation. When you find x, actually one line problem if you make a nice drawing here. We don't need all this stuff. When you found x, go to the left, subtract from this 18 this value. You get the same answer. This is very important for digital SAT when you can do in one line instead of all this stuff. This is good and this is good. Okay, who understand this idea? If you count this x, okay, and this x equals to, I found this, x equals to 125 over 6. When you subtract from this point 125 over 6, you get this intercept. Very nice visualized way of solving. For digital, we have to think about shortcuts. It was 24. Few students 25. If you have any question, ask me.
I have a question, Dr. Farber.
Yes.
What did you subtract 125 over 6 from?
From this point, you see this x, Mobina, x.
Yes.
This point of intersection, right? This coordinate.
Yes.
Look at this number line. If this, I don't know, let's say this is 18. And previous point, let's say 5 units to the left. How to find this point? Minus 5, it would be 13, right? I just made up.
Yeah.
Here the same. We have a point, and this point, x units to the left. X you found. So subtract from this.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Welcome. Don't be shy. Ask me any questions. Very fast, 125. So good idea to have different tools. They usually don't show this method in any books, but this is very good method. Let me find the next question you asked me. And we almost finished the first module. Okay, let me find this module 1. 125. 7 students. 125. In 125, explain the graph of equation. You have equation negative x to the second plus 9x and minus 100. This is given. Intersect the line y equals to c at exactly 1 point. Okay. What the value of c? Look at the strategy. What does it mean 1 point? First of all, if you look at this graph, you see this graph is parabola downward. It cannot go, for instance, if this parabola downward and this vertex of this parabola, this vertex has particular coordinates, and line C, in order to have one common point, supposed to have the same y coordinate like vertex. This is x, this is y, this is c. Okay. It's not intersect. If it intersect, I have two points. If not above, it have no points. It have 1 point because coordinate of this line C and coordinate of vertex is the same. And how to find coordinate of vertex? You know that x of vertex, right, equals negative b divided by 2a. So far so good. Or negative b divided by 2 times negative 1. We did it many times. It would be minus minus plus, it would be 9 over 2. So I know this is 9 over 2. How to find y? Since y, I write this. Y equals to f of x. I have to find f of 9 over 2. If you plug in here negative 9 over 2 to the second plus 9 times 9 over 2 and minus 100. I'll not count. We have no time for this. I counted. I got this result, and you can easily where we studied this stuff. It's great, right? Fraction addition, multiplication. You get negative 13, negative 319 over 4. So when C equals negative this vertex of this parabola, right? Parabola has vertex. Let me write here. 9 over 2, comma, and negative 319 over 4. So this is negative 319 over 4. If C equals the same value, it has only one common point with this vertex symbol. Always visualize it. Who understand this 100%? 100 up to this point. Make a sketch. Sketch. Daniel K. You with me? Daniel K. Good. Thank you. And the very last question, where how many students, also 7 students, is 26. 26. Let me find this. Okay, you can solve this few many different ways. Let me find this 126. So we have system of equation. One 26. 2x plus 3y equals to 7. 10x plus 15y equal to 35. Students, if you build a graph in Cartesian coordinates, how many lines you will see on this Cartesian coordinate based on this equation? Who can tell me? Understand my question? We have system of two equations. How many lines you will have in a graph? Somebody typing 2. Who think this is 2? Who think this is 1? Like Evelyn. This is 1. Because if you multiply this by 5, you get the second. This 5 times 2x, 10x. 5 times 3y, 15y. 5 times 7, 35. It means two lines are overlapping, right? For instance. And this actually, they look like one line. Since this one line, actually, I choose the smallest number, for instance. And unscramble in format y equals mx plus b. For instance, this one. 2x plus 3y equals to 7. Minus 2x and minus 2x. I get 3y, cancel out, equals to negative 2x plus 7. If I divide by 3 both parts, I get equation of this line. And they ask you which value, look on multiple choice. Okay, this is what is better to plug in to check, because they have different options. You ask you which one is better. It gives you get a hint, because if this is negative 2 over 3 in multiple choice in B, what in B we have? Look at this, a reciprocal, negative 3r over 2. This coefficient, the reciprocal to this one, right? Plus 7 over 2 in B. And y coordinate is r. Let's check if it works. How? Let me plug in this guy over there instead of x. And what do I have? I use this space because it's a little bit space consuming. Negative 2 over 3 multiplied by negative 3r over 2 plus 7 over 2 and plus 7 over 3. I just plug in. After that, when you use distributive property, negative, negative, positive, reciprocal, I will get what? R. Minus 2 and 2 and 2 cancel out. I get negative 7 over 3. Minus 7 over 3. This one. Because this 2 and 2 cancel out. Plus 7 over 3. Combine like terms. It's equals to R. And this y equals to R. Bingo. This answer is B. Sometimes when you look at this, you can easily see what to plug in. So if you plug in x, you get this r, which is given for this. If you plug in any other value, you will not get this left equals to right. Who understand this? 100%, 100. Okay, good. Well, we did this successfully, this part. Let's go to the second part fast through most frequent questions. The second part, module 2E. 2E or not 2E? Okay. Again, I go through most frequent questions first. After that, you can go to any of this question. For instance, many students ask, okay. Let me see. Many students ask number 15, 2E. 2E15. Who read 2E15? This word problem. Anybody, please. Okay. Evelyn, would you like to read?
The equation ET equals 5 times 1.8 to the t power gives the estimated number of employees at a restaurant where t is the number of years since the restaurant opened. Which of the following is the best interpretation of the number 5 in this context?
Nice reading. Thank you. This is 2E15. We do this module. They give you a formula. And E of t equals 5 times 1.8 to power t, where t is number of years. Always write this, years. Number of employees. This is years. Number of employees. I make it short. What else? Since t is number of years, since the restaurant open, which the following is the best interpretation of number 5 in context? Usually, when you have exponential equation, what does it mean? So when they open a restaurant, they have 5 employees. I just give a situation. The next year, number of employees increased by 80%. And this would be 5 year number 1. After this, you have 5 times 1.8 to power 1. Next year, it was business so successful, this amount, you agree again increase by 80%. Each like constant ratio, and would be 5 times 1.8 to power 2, etc. Every year, if you increase by t exponential, how it look like when you have exponent, this graph, exponential function, right? So originally this is 5, and every year number of employees increasing. If you understand the structure of exponential function, this is definitely only a. They ask you, what is 5? The estimated number of employees when restaurant opened, initial amount. And this always here, when x equals to 1, x equals to 0 in this case, t equals to 0, this is 1, 5 times 1 is 5, and this initial amount. After that, number of employees increase. Easy. They have many questions for formal interpretation. Who understand this? 100%, 100. 100, good, easy. So if you see some question, takes just few seconds. Just a little bit practice. Number 19, many students. Who read 19? 19. Okay, Theodore, please, 19. The door? You muted? Let me check. Yes, some reason. You unmuted. The door? Yes, 19.
Which expression is equivalent to a to the power of 11 over 12, where a is greater than 0?
Or 19 or 18? I just want to see what the question is was. Yes, oh, this is 19. Yes, let me see it again. 219. Yes, 219. Thank you. There is no text question actually. You have a to power 11 over 12. Generally speaking, when you have formula a to power m over n, it means nth root of a to power m. If you look at this, it's the same like 12 roots on the shelf, a to power 11. But if you look at multiple choice, we don't have this option. We don't have this option. But look at this. We have to know about this, have to get knowledge of fourth grade, because without equivalent fraction. If you look at multiple choices, what we have, a to power 11 over 12, I see these answers. Look at this. If I multiply this by 12 and this by 12, I get a. 11 by 12 is 1, I believe 32. And this 144. And based on this formula, you get square root of 144 of a to power 132 if you multiply correctly, right, I believe. If you look on these numbers, this is b. I use idea of equivalency of fractions, nothing else. And after that, I apply this formula. Who understand this 100%? Common trick. They use every time, and this just fraction equivalency. Daniel K, I want you to participate more actively, please. This was 19, many students. Next, where you have more students. Okay. Next is looking where you have more students. Again, after that, we return to any questions if you need. Okay. Number 25. Number 25, many students. Veronica M., would you like to read? It was your question as well, 25.
A model estimates that at the end of each year from 2015 to 2020, the number of squirrels in a population was 150% more than the number of squirrels in the population at the end of the previous year. The model estimates that at the end of 2016, there were 180 squirrels in the population. Which of the following equations represents this model, where n is the estimated number of squirrels in the population t years after the end of 2015, and t is less than or equal to 5?
Okay, thank you. This is a very common approach for this one. I just remind what we did. We did similar today for exponential equation. When they give exponential equation, behind the scene always work one formula. If I look at this 225, 2e25, right? And number of the squirrel equals original amount times 1 plus, they said percent increase, 150%. Okay, this percent increase over 100, right? Because we have to convert percent to number. We divide by 100 to power t. This is general. if you're asking about number of years. And they said P increased by 150%. This is 150. It's like a geometric sequence. To understand any terms in geometric sequence, you have to know what? You have to know initial value and all this ingredient you have, all these terms. So if you plug in, now look at what is given here. I can override this like this. A 150 divided by 100, this guy would be 1.5. 1.5 plus 1, it will be 2.5. 2.5 to power t. So this because they said this is 150. Yes, 150%. And since the end of 2016, from 2015 to 2016 passed 1 year. And end of 2016, they said this equals to what? 180. So this is 180. Let me save space and time. This 180 and here I plug in here 180. To the first 180. And elapsing time, it's only 1 year pass, right? This is 1. Or I can write equals A times 2.5. If I divide by 2.5 both parts, okay, I cancel out. Let's see, result of calculation I get is 72. What I get? A equals to 72. Beautiful. Now I can understand this relation. And plug in this guy over there. 72 and times 2.5 to power t. If I look at multiple choice, this is B. So keep in mind, students, always you have to know, like an equation of line, make analogy. To build a line, you have to know not only y-intercept, but also m. Think about this way. Who understand 100%? 100. Yes, Alice, I will explain. What number? Let me see. 21? Yes, I return to 21. To 21. If it's too fast, ask me questions. Let me explain 26 because it's already open here. After that, I return to 21 as well, okay? Just remind me. So 26, many students ask. 26. That's why, okay, students, and all question in SAT not difficult, but some of them less time consuming, just few seconds, and some of them just longer, like this one, a little bit longer. 226. That's why you have to study shortcuts to solve majority of questions in few seconds, and this you have more time. It's just time consuming, space consuming. We have, I believe, 2e26. 5x plus 7y equals to 1. And ax plus by equals to 1. A and b constant, the graph of equation, they mutually perpendicular. They perpendicular. You know from if line mutually perpendicular, line 1 perpendicular to L2, M2 equals to negative reciprocal of M1 and vice versa. You remember this, right? What if following, and they give multiple choice. Okay, so let's do step by step. Actually, there are 2 steps. You have to solve this one and see which fit to your answers. This 26, right? Which better fit your answer? Let me see this one. Okay. So I use this approach, and good idea since we're talking about slope, I have to override in slope intercept. How to do this? Minus 5x and minus 5x. I will get 7y as move over there. 7y equals to negative 5x plus 1. Or divide by 7, this equation of line 1. Okay, and I know from here m1 equals to negative 5/7. We just care about slopes. In the same manner, in step number 1. Step number 2, I unscramble this one. Minus ax and minus ax. I have by cancel out equals to negative ax plus 1. I divide by b each part. And this slope m2 equals to negative a over b. Okay. Now, in order this fulfill this, if you combine this and this, keep in mind the perpendicular. I can write negative a over b equals negative 1 over negative 5/7. Or keep change flip, negative, negative, positive, I get 7/5. What I get? A over b, if I multiply both parts by negative 1, will be negative 7/5. Okay. I found A over B, this relationship for equation is given. Now look at this, which we can also use, let's say B. B, what we have. You can choose for any of this. You have 10x plus 7y equals to 1. I try to save space here. Unscramble. Minus 10x and minus 10x. I get 7y equals negative 10x plus 1. Divide by 7. And the slope equals to, I will name it m3, for instance, equals to negative 10/7. In the same manner, they have the second equation. And the second is, what is it? Ax, this is step number 3. Ax plus 2by equals to 1. Minus ax and minus ax cancel out 2by equals to negative ax plus 1, and divide both part by 2b, or not 2b. Cancel out, and m4 equals to negative, this guy, negative a over 2b. And since these two negative reciprocal, you can write this negative from here, negative. This is step number 4, let's say. This is step number 4. Step number 5. Negative a over 2b equals negative 1 over negative 10/7, which is, I continue here, which is negative near positive, it would be 7/10. I get from here, if you multiply by -1, I get A over 2B equals to negative 7/10. Okay, but how to make them compatible? Here we have A over B, and here we have A over 2B. To make compatible, left part I multiply both part by 2. Because why? I need to have B over there. 2 and 2 cancel out. I get A over B equals 2 goes into 10 5 times equals to negative 7/5. So this is exactly, you can make conclusion. It would be here and there the same identical. So this also is B. Understand 100%. 100. Okay, good. 20. Many students ask 27 as well. What is? Yes.
You said you'd explain number 21?
Yes, sure. 21. So let me find 21. From the second part, right? 2E module.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is not difficult. You studied this in equation of line, even for STI prep, but only time consuming a little bit. So E21. We have 4x minus 4 equals to 12. With this, 112. This is given. What is x? X minus 1. Well, 4 is never negative. You can write this this way. 4 times x minus 1 equals to 112. Agree? After that, divide both part by 4. And this equals to 28. So absolute value of x minus 1 equals to 28. You can consider two different scenarios, but they ask you in this 21, one of this value. What is possible value? This is 28. So far, so good? For instance, look at this. If you have 5x module, and you know definition of absolute value. Classical definition, if equal x, if x greater or equals to 0, or negative x, if x less than 0. But it's the same like 5 times absolute value of x, because 5 is 5. This guy is responsible for sign. So you can easily, rule of absolute value, you can put it beyond the parentheses. So far, so good?
Yeah, thank you.
Good. Next is 21, and the last one I told, what is it? 20, I believe 26 to 26, 20, 26 I explained. 27 few students. 27. 227. X squared minus 34x plus c equals to 0. And it says c is greater than n. What the least possible of c is constant, the equation has no real solution. Oh, this is important. No real solution. no real. What the least possible value of n? The equation has no real solution and C is greater than n. So use quadratic formula. X the first second equals double the first coefficient. The second coefficient with opposite sign. Plus minus square root of 34 to the second minus 4 times 1 times C. And this we name discriminant. If discriminant is greater than 0, we have two solutions. When equal to 0, we have one solution. When less than 0, we don't have a real solution. So you have to find border of this, border, right? We have. And when you count all this, right? What is it? Our discriminant, which is discriminant 34 to the second minus 4C, okay, when it's equals to 0, because they ask you what the least possible value of n. Okay, the least. And C is greater than n, and n is greater than less than C. Okay, and this one is equals to 0. From this is minus 34 to the second and minus 34 to the second. You got negative 4C equals to negative 34 to the second. If you count, use scientific calculator and divide by 4, or you can do it even mentally. How to do it mentally? Divide by negative 4, cancel out, or negative 34 to the second divide by negative 2 to the second equals to rule of power. It would be negative, negative, positive 34 over 2 to the second, which is 17 to the second. And 17 to the second is 289. You can do mentally. And this is supposed to be less than this. Is it? Understand this idea? Yes, Veronica, 24. Do you have any question for this? No question. 24. Okay, Veronica Z, read this, please.
For the exponential function f, the value of f of 1 is k, where k is a constant. Which of the following equivalent forms of the function f shows the value of k as the coefficient or the base?
Thank you. Okay. So, you have exponential function. The value of f of 1 equals to k. F of 1, this is, what is it? 1, forget number this. I forget what number it was. 24. 124. You have f of 1 equals to k. I write for myself. And this is constant. With the following equation, show the value of k in coefficient of the base. Okay. Show the value of k in coefficient of the base. Now look at this. How you get I look into multiple choice. If I choose C, I explain why. C. You have. And remember, this is f of x. And the ask is 128. to power 1.6 to power x minus 1. If you plug in f of 1, what happens? You have 128, 1.6 to 1 minus 1, this is 0. 1.6 to power 0 is 1. It doesn't depend on x. So this is always 1 for this one. So this is C. So far so good? Yes? So far so good? Any number in power 0 is 1.
Yes.
Okay, good. Next, we finish this one. Any more questions for this package? Because we have one more. Few questions for another one. And put this one aside. Okay, go through to H, where you have most questions so far. Okay. Most questions. Look into your questions so far. Number 9, few students. This is 2H, number 9, few students. To H9. What we have? 2x plus by equals to 10. Ax plus 4y equals to 15 or negative 15. System equation A and B constant, A equals to B. And they have no solutions. No solutions. What physically means no solution? This is line and this is line. It means we have somehow two lines which are parallel. So it means their slope are the same, they parallel. M1 equals to M2 and B1 not equals to B2. For the fastest way, instead of unscrambling, this coefficient is supposed to be proportional, and this not proportion, because this proportion would be one line. So far so good. What we have? In order to have no solutions is 2 over A. Supposed to be equals to B over 4. And not equals 10 over 15. Okay. And H, and they ask you again, why is this problem? They ask you to find H. H. Okay. So AB equals to 8. Okay. And H equals to, I write here, A equals to B. You can plug in what we have. 2B times B equals to 8. 2B squared equals to 8. Divide by 2 both parts. 4. So B equals square root of 4 plus minus 2. And A, they say it's positive or not? AB constant. Does matter in this case, right? So A, let's say when B equals to 2, A equals to 2 times 2, which is 4. One of the solution. We have a multiple choice because I don't have negative 4. That's about it. Any questions? General approach for this
I have
proportional.
a question.
Yes.
How do you know that the lines are parallel or if they're perpendicular?
Not perpendicular. There are three cases, Anastasia. One case when you see this equation of line, do you agree? Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
And this is the equation of line. And we have three cases. Case number one. This is one line, this is another line. Where they're not parallel, we have common point of intersection, and we have solution, one solution. So far, so good?
Yes.
This is X, this is Y. The second situation, this case A, one solution. The second case, you know, according to postulate of Euclidean postulate, parallel line, they never intersect. So there is no solution. No solution, only one case. They must be parallel, otherwise they intersect. This case B. So far, so good, Anastasia?
Yes.
And case C, one line, and the top of this line goes another line. They are overlapping. And here we have infinite set of solutions, because every point on one line is point of the second line. In this case, they parallel, but they have the same y-intercept, be the same. Since they said no solution, this case B. Visualize every time. Did I answer question?
Yes, thank you.
Welcome. Okay, next is, so looking through most request questions. Okay, number 10. Many students ask, what is number 10? Let me cross it out. In number 10, 2H10. By the way, students, some of you ask about, you want to make, if you have a time, if you have probably tomorrow or the next time, probably tomorrow, you'll make, how to say, we'll test you in English using idea of digital. I want to see where you are. I want to see that English also nice. So we have, if I change my schedule tomorrow, we will have class together with Dr. James, or maybe after tomorrow, after this class. But try to do my best. If I have a chance, tomorrow we can, first of all, you prepare your homework for English part, but also I show how it works from point, and we measure your results according to digital standard what we have, okay? I will make mock-up test. I will write some small web page for this, right? Where you click and you go to this and this, like explain you. I want you to explain how English part works, because some of you answering questions and asking how it works. So be ready for tomorrow, or just in the case after tomorrow, after the next class. So we do testing your digital. This about it. Who understand 100%? Raise hand. If you're not taking this, my suggestion, take one class. It's not, at least you will see this, because English is 50% of this class, of these results. 2H10. 2H10. Contact manager for this. We have f of x equals to ax squared minus 15. For function I have defined above, a is constant, f of 3 equals to 10. Where the following equals to f of 5. Where is the following? Okay. I look into this one, ax squared minus 15. Let me depict it. I try to make it faster. Ax squared is supposed to be like this. Minus 15 is supposed to be over there, negative 15. And you know this function is even function. What is even function? F of x equals to f of negative x. Even function, you know this, right? Even. An even function symmetrical with respect to y-axis. This is even function. Okay. If function is even, what a question. Let's say this is f of 5. Pretend this is 5. This equals to f of negative 5. 1 second question, because you know for even function, f of 5 equals to f of negative 5. So if you look multiple choice, this is D, the fastest way. Who understands this 100%? For even function, this even, because any number, positive or negative, second power is what? Is not negative. That's why you use what? Extra seconds for this. It was, I give you a little bit more time, students, because we need to go through this thoroughly, through most questions here. Number. Okay, let me see which is next, you ask many students. Number 13 is very popular questions for this one. It's 13, I believe 18, very similar. You asked me 13 and 18, right? Let me put in a circle. I solve this together. I show very popular question. This is 2e 14. Not 14, 13. 2h13 like this. You have 24. Let me write to say I start from the left part. 3x. Okay, let me do both ways. I write exactly what they give. 24 x squared minus kx plus 16 equals to 3x plus 4 multiply what is ax minus b, ax minus b. For all value of x, write this, for value, all value of x. A, b, k constant, what the value of k? Two ways, I show up both ways. Use distributive. I continue with it. It would be what? 3 8 x squared plus 3bx plus 4ax. I erase this stuff. minus for b. Combine like terms. I will write here 3a x to the second line up plus, instead of this guy, I write 4a plus 3b commutative property times x plus 4a plus 3b times x and minus for b. You see, I line up both these trinomials and they equal to each other. It means, for instance, this guy equals to each other. Negative 4b equals to 16 divided by negative 4, negative 4. I instantly get b equals to negative 4. 3h equals to 24. They equal when their coefficients are the same. Divided by 3. A equals to 8. And if you plug in everything over there, you have A, B, and this is K. K equals to negative 4A plus 3B. And A is 8, and B equals to negative 4. If you plug in, you get K is 14. Again, two parts are equal, both of them trinomials, when their coefficients are the same. To understand this 100%, 100. There is another way where we use a lot in calculus and pre-calculus. I show another way. Any question about this approach? No questions. Okay. So, oh, I already erased it. Think about something else. Sorry. What is it? One more time. This 2h13. Let me write this again. 24x to the second minus kx plus. I just give idea. You can implement by yourself. Equals to 3x plus 4 times ax minus b for all x. And find what? K. So the second way is any x. I can choose any x. For instance, you want to choose x when I cancel out right part. When I multiply right part by 0. So since it's work for all x's, I can make 3x plus 4 equals to 0. And find what value of x satisfies this equation. I got 3x cancel out equals to negative 4. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. When x equals to negative 4 over 3, right part equals to 0. This becomes 0. And now, grab this guy and plug in here and there. What do we have? 24 times negative 4 over 3 to the second power minus k times negative 4 over 3 plus 16 equals to 0. Beautiful. Simple linear equation where I have one unknown. Okay. There are two ways to solve it. Two main. There have more approaches, but you can, the third way, you can make expanded 4 and compare two sides. But this is probably the fast. Who understand this? To be sure that you understand, many students ask number 18. Let me see number 18. Okay, number 18. 2H18. So many questions on SAT, they use the same algorithm. 2H18. Okay. What is it? A times x plus 1 plus b times x minus 1 equals to 7x for all values of x. For all real number x. A be constant, what the value of a? So again, we use approach, we can use identical equation approach. For instance, how to do this, like I did. Ax plus a plus bx minus b equals to 7x. Okay. And combine like terms and put at the same time beyond of parentheses. A plus b times x plus a minus b. We have two terms, this one and this one. And this equals to 7x. Well, it's how I compare them. We have only one term, and here we have two terms basically. Plus 0. Yes. And we can have, based on this approach, this equals to 7. And this equals to 0. And we have system equation. A plus b equals to 7. And a minus b equals to 0. Okay. And they ask you here to say in this question, what the value of a? A. And from here, if you add them up, you have 2a equals to 7 and divide by 2 plus parts. You can do faster, second way, like you do. The second way. Since you need to find a for any x, let's say x equals to 1. Let x equals to 1. I will have a times 1 plus 1 plus b times 0 equals to 7. Or 2a equals to 7 divided by 2 plus parts. You get the same result in one shot, just in seconds. Good idea to know both of them. So far, so good, students?
Dr. Farber,
Yes.
how come you added 0 to the right side, and why is a plus b equal to 7, and why is a minus b equal to 0?
Okay, good question, Alyssa. Look at this, what I have. After I combine like terms, I have two main terms. One coefficient in front of x, and one without x. So far, so good?
Yes.
Number. In the right part is given, we have x with coefficient. This is given. And there is no numbers. No numbers mean we have number, but this number is 0. Because if you compare two parts, they're supposed to have identical structure. Like we solve with complex number examples. For instance, a plus bi. Sometimes we have only bi. We assume that a equals to 0. It exists, but it's 0. So for comparison, you have to have, we name it identical equation, this idea. This kind of equation, identical. They have to have identical equations supposed to have identical structure. So you have some number. This is a number. and this is coefficient. We have coefficient and added some number. Now, so far so good. They will be equals when, since structure is identical. What is identical? Here, we have some number in front of x and some number, another number. We have some number in front of x and another number. They equal when separately equal this part in front of x and separately equal this number which are not include x.
I understand. Thank you.
Welcome. In addition, use approach, since it works for any of this, use approach when you can choose any convenient number. I've used a lot of in calculus. When you use integrals and you have their special method for some kind of polynomial, use it a lot every time. Okay, good. So practically, I explained almost all questions from this. And Vlada asked one more question here. Number 19, not Vlada, few students. Number 19 to age 19. To age 19. To age 19, we have P equals to 4/3k plus 81. If the value of P is increased by 16, let me make to save space and time P, and this is P plus 16 equals to 4/3k1 plus 81. When you increase this value by 16, by how much that the value of k increases? So they ask you actually to find difference, delta. Delta is difference. If I subtract from this equation, what I'll get? Cancel out and bring down 16 equals 4/3 k1 minus k. Cancel out. What is k1 minus k? Is delta k. How much is increase? How to find delta k? I multiply both part by 3/4. 3/4. And what I'll get here? 16 times 3/4 equals to delta k, because they're reciprocal. 4 goes into 16 4 times, I'll get 12. So this is the fastest way, because I have seen many times, majority of kids, what they do. They unscramble. First of all, they're wasting time to find k, and it's 3 times more. And this is actually one line, you subtract this. Practically, I explain all most request questions. How you feel about this test? If I give this similar test again, will you do this? Who understand today's lesson 100%?